and welcome back to part 2 of my indefinitely long screenwriting series. As you can tell, I am in a new living situation now, so that's partially why it has taken me so long to get around to putting part 2 together, but it's finally here, so I hope you enjoy. This video will offer a small look into what happens after your screenplay is written. I'll try to cover topics from representation to the types of content that studios and representatives might be looking for right now. Like part 1, this video will also be quite brief, but if I notice that there is any part of this video that people have a lot of interest in, I will happily expand upon it in a subsequent video. So I again want to start this with a qualification disclaimer because I again want to emphasize that even though I do work in the entertainment industry, I would never in a million years consider myself the end-all be-all professional to anything related to screenwriting or selling a screenplay. This video exists solely as a passion project. This video exists solely as a passion project and an opportunity for me to share some of the small tidbits of information that I have learned since starting in this industry. I also want to acknowledge the ongoing Writers Guild of America strike. As I am recording this video, over 20,000 writers for television and film are walking away from their jobs until the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers agree to offer union members higher pay, equitable residuals, and the elimination of this overall unfair gig economy mindset. You can do your part to help in the strike efforts by staying informed on the negotiation efforts happening now with the WGA West and East, joining picket lines, sharing information about the hows and whys of the strike on social media, and more. I definitely recommend going to the WGA's official website and official address regarding the strike to get more information. So now that all of that has been said, let's get started. I currently work full-time in talent management. Prior to this job, I worked numerous internships and volunteer opportunities that required me to do a lot of script coverage. Script coverage is the process of assessing screenplays that have been submitted for consideration for producers, representatives, film festivals, and more of the like. These coverages are often key in determining whether a screenplay is worth the investment. Write-ups contain everything from plot summaries to character breakdowns to literary analyses and just general thoughts on the project's viability and whether it would be a realistic thing to produce. As such, I want to turn my personal experience in writing coverages for over 100 different products into a quick list of tips that you can use for both your writing and for your submission processes. First, I will describe how the script selling process usually works. You usually want to start with finding representation for your script. There's a lot of different types of representation that you could pursue, but your end goal is having someone on your side who has a lot of connections to studios. There's no single way to go about finding representation, but common tactics include cold calling or cold emailing management firms or agencies. You could enter your scripts into festivals and writing contests, or you can answer calls for scripts that are occasionally put out by networks. Those calls are called mandates, and websites like the Tracking Board are great at compiling all of those mandates being made industry-wide. Once you have representation, it becomes the job of your agent or manager to get your projects into the laps of studio executives. It's worth noting that the more niche a script's subject matter is, the harder it will be to sell. Which brings me to my next point, the themes and ideas that I see most often in scripts. Most spec scripts in rotation have some sort of immediate resemblance to current events. For example, I have come across a lot of projects with commentary on police brutality or references to global pandemics. I think that scripts incorporating heavy topics like that, or something covering the Me Too movement or Black Lives Matter, are important for teaching audiences about those issues through the fairly digestible media of movie watching. On the flip side, current events are also why dystopian films are kind of out of fashion. The tyrannical, discriminatory government seen in things like The Hunger Games or The Handmaid's Tale or Divergent are now a bit too reminiscent of current events. they hit too close to home, to the point where audiences do not really gravitate towards this genre anymore as a means for escapism. As a result, dystopian scripts are now much harder to sell than they would have been if they were on the market 10 years ago. Next up, I want to discuss some of the qualities that I personally look for in a screenplay when I am writing up a coverage. I know this main priority is going to sound broad, but honestly, you can't go wrong with just having good writing. I want to see a solid story with solid writing. I want to see projects with good spelling and grammar that have proper formatting. That kind of thing indicates that a high level of care has been taken into crafting the project. The best scripts I have read are the ones that I can easily imagine playing out on a screen right in front of me. Conversely, some of the worst scripts that I have read often stem from a lack of a clear vision. A good premise does not always guarantee a good story. To achieve a good story, you need cohesive character development, a good balance of characters, and character personalities and character types, and most importantly, a coherent plot. For some reason, I also kept running across a lot of Mary Sue-esque power fantasy type of stories and a lot of self-inserts, but I feel like that particular type of storytelling epidemic has already been really well covered on the YouTube sphere, so I'm not going to dive too much into what exactly a Mary Sue is or why you sometimes might want to avoid self-insert fantasies in your writing. Instead, I'm going to link a couple of really good YouTube videos that cover this topic in the description box below. So that's all I've got for now for my second screenwriting crash course. I know it's short, but again, I've been busy moving and I really just wanted to get a video out there to show everyone that I am still alive and kicking on the internet. But if there's anything I touched on this video or the previous video that you would like to hear more about, do not hesitate to let me know and I will love to make a follow-up video. So with that being said, that is it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and I will see you again soon.